should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. Preferably in a residential area.
The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you. Voted as best local podcast in Tampa Bay by the Creative Loafing. You're listening to Hoppe Hour.
What up? What is happening? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, and I'm a big fan of the comedy scene here in Tampa Bay, and I'm a big fan of promoting it. So live on Hoppe Hour is comedian Rahn Hortman. What's up, dude?
What's up, Hoppe? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I've had so many of them on, and everybody's like, you got to get Rahn Hortman on. You got to get Rahn Hortman on. So I'm very pumped to have you on, dude.
Word? They said that?
A lot of people did, man, including Nervous Jared from Hot 1015 and 1025 The Bone. A radio guy said it. Everyone's been saying you got to get Rahn Hortman on, dude.
You know what? I am deeply touched and moved. I love everybody back, and now y'all got me excited.
What do you think the reason is that everybody wanted to get you on my show, man? What do you bring to comedy that people notice?
You know what? I'm not going to say one of the few guys, but I keep it clean. And I keep it clean, but still adult. So a lot of people respect that I just found my lane and I stuck with it. I ain't trying to be nobody else. I'm not trying to do it any other way. And it's mostly real life, and it's not sugar-coated.
But when you say clean, do you talk about things that are edgy, but you don't swear, or is it full-on clean?
Absolutely. Real life situations, man. Everything everybody else talks about, I just find a clever, creative way to do it. Like I can cuss you out without cussing you out.
What is the best example? Why don't you think more comedians do that?
It's harder to do, and when people when they find out you're clean, they think it's gonna be corny. They don't think it's gonna be funny.
A lot of clean comedians are corny. I mean, Seinfeld makes it work, Gaffigan makes it work, but a lot of them out there are just not my thing.
See, and you know what? It's hard. A lot of times I don't want to tell people I'm clean because I don't think they're gonna give me the chance.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, the way I approached it was when I go to if I was working in corporate America, I could say certain things that I wouldn't say with my friends, but I'm still smart enough or clever enough to get my point across without using certain words. And that's the only way I approached it.
My thing with clean comedy is there's times when you're too clean, and the same thing can be said for swearing. There's some comedians that are hacky where every word is fuck, shit, and you're just like, oh my God, we got it. You're crazy. You swear. It's like it goes both ways.
Absolutely, man. Now, I'm a fan of dirty comedy. If you'll say that, I think there's a time and place for everything. Just because you curse in a joke doesn't make the joke dirty. The curse word could just be an emphasis on the joke. So I don't think that it's wrong. It's just the thing that I do. And when I try to be clean, it's not Mickey Mouse Disney type stuff. I'm still talking about real life issues, and I still can piss people off without cursing, and it happens.
Good, man.
You know what I mean?
Are you ever nervous, though, that even though your jokes are clean, that somebody might get offended by it, especially in 2016 when we're offended by everything?
Every night. I offend people all the time, I think.
It sucks, man, because we're just a bunch of uptight pussies now. We can't take anything, dude.
PC is taking over the world, and
it's bad.
It's wrong. It's wrong. You're supposed to be able to speak your mind, say what you want to say, and people are supposed to be able to respect your opinion.
The thing that bothers me is if comedians have to say they're sorry. Like last week, Rosie made a joke that wasn't funny about kids with autism. She made an analogy saying she'd rather have 3 kids with autism than have her own kid. Everybody freaked out. She had to say she was sorry to advocate groups. It's like she should say she's sorry for the joke not being funny, not for what the joke was about. And number 2, the problem is if comedians have to say we're sorry, free speech is dead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, the joke wasn't funny to me, first of all.
Oh, it was
that
horrible.
Ain't funny.
I saw it online.
But you should never have to apologize for the way you feel about something. Like, for example, if somebody doesn't like black people, that's your thing. You cannot like black people. That's cool.
Yeah.
But don't don't force me not to like black people because I happen to like black people. They're good people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
they're pretty cool.
My father's black. You
Yeah.
know, he's all right. But I can't get mad at somebody because they don't like black people. That's their thing, man. They shouldn't have to apologize to me for not liking black people.
What'd you think of the whole Michael Richards thing from '07 when he just flipped out?
You know what? As a comic, he lost it as far as he was bombing and he had nothing else to say that he felt like that was the best thing. As a black dude, if I was a customer, I would be upset about it, you know. But as a comic, I'm not upset, and I just know that he cracks under pressure.
It was very odd because it seemed like his inner racism came out because nobody says that without being racist. It was just so weird because he just went from like being okay. It was like, as Drake says, he went from 0 to 100. Like he just went from being okay and he just flipped out. Like if that happened now, oh my God, with social media, it'd be the end of the world. I think that was ahead of its time. Like he's lucky that happened in the era of like the Razor.
Absolutely. See, the thing is, when somebody shows their true colors like that, I'm not upset. I know what I'm dealing with now.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it, man.
Does that ever happen to you during live shows? Racist things are said, or you have to deal with hecklers?
No, they don't really call me a nigga to my face on the live show. But I'm sure there's certain jokes I tell, and I can tell it makes people uncomfortable, but it's my point of view, and sometimes you say things to make people uncomfortable, to make people think.
Yeah.
And like for example, like right now, I'll do a joke about Donald Trump, right? And half of the crowd is cheering, and the other half is booing.
Yeah.
And I know the side that I can tell people's thought process. Oh, like these people really don't like Mexicans right here. I can tell because they're cheering really loud for this joke, and I haven't even said the joke yet.
Yeah.
So, true colors come out in comedy, man.
I want him to win just because I'm done with everything. I just think it'd be awesome for America just because he's so awful.
If Donald Trump wins, man, it's going to be a sad day in America, to me, in my opinion. It's going to be sad.
There's nobody good. And I don't know anything about it, but it's just Ted Cruz is a creep.
Dude, I'll tell you this, man. I think this is how bad politics is. If you think about it, you have your Democrats, you have your Republicans, and the whole time the other Democrats they're running against, they're telling you how lousy these people are. And then the Republicans are telling you how lousy these other Republicans are.
Yeah.
And then when one of them gets the nomination, they get one of those lousy people to run with them.
Yeah.
So everybody's lousy, man.
And then both sides can't get along. Like, I voted for Obama. I like the guy. I think he was a bit too cocky when it came to some things. But at the same time, nobody gave him a chance on the right side. It's just like what annoys me and why I'm not going to vote this year is they don't care about us. They want the power trip of being president. They don't care about us. So why should I vote for them? Kiss my ass.
Well, I say don't give up your right to vote. Don't. You vote for somebody else. I wouldn't give up your right. We have people fighting for that, man. You always vote. I think here's my analogy with politics. Democrats and Republicans are the live cliche of the half glass, half full, half empty thing, but nobody wants to tell you what's in the glass.
Yeah.
That's what they are, man.
What I don't like about the right side is their rights against women, abortion, and gay rights and weed. I'm just like, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't care. But just the fact that you care that much about gay marriage and abortion, I'm like, what's wrong with you guys?
Man, I should say his name. I got a good friend. This is how hypocritical everybody is. He's so conservative. He talks about you have to pull your bootstraps up and you have to get out there and get what you want. He doesn't believe in taking grants for college. You should have your own money and all this kind of stuff.
Very traditional.
But he been stealing Netflix for 9 months. That's the kind of dude he is.
Yeah, I'm the type of person where I just look for the easy way out. I'm very lazy, Ron.
No, you was a man's man. That's why you're supposed to work smarter, not harder, man.
I work very hard, and sometimes I don't think it's the smartest just because I'm so focused on radio, on making this thing work. Are you the same way with comedy?
I am, man. Comedy it's like a black hole for me, man. Like, I love it so much, and it takes everything that you have to be successful in it. So you have to neglect something.
Does it drive you nuts?
It does, man, because it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
How do you make your name out there? Because I feel like you have the big names like Kevin Hart, Louis C.K., Seinfeld. You have all these big names that are sharks, and all the other comedians are like little guppy fish. So how do you make yourself known? Because I would just get so disgruntled, man.
Just call me a guppy. Wow. Wow. No, well, you know what, man? Like, well, you almost have to. You can pick your poison, as I'll say. Like right now, you can literally get famous off of a 15-second video. It's cats that are famous now because of videos, internet comedians, and no, I'm not knocking them or any way, but
they're the worst.
Hoppy said it. I didn't say it. I'm non.
They're hacks. Wow, you made a 7-second video on Vine. You're hilarious, dude.
But people, they get these people to follow them, and then they're famous. Now you can do like somebody like you said, CK and Kevin Hart. Those dudes put years of going up every night, working it out to finally get where they got. They deserve it.
A lot of people hate on Kevin Hart, man. Kevin Hart putting the work to get it done. I respect the hell out of him.
I'm a fan. I literally saw watching him on shows where he was, that dude is funny. Till now he's like a legend, and it's like amazing, and you know it's inspirational. And as a comic, you can strive to get that big, but honestly, I don't think he wanted to be that big. I think it just happened. He was just trying to be a good comic.
How big do you want to be?
I want to be big enough to live comfortably without struggling and being able to say things that I want to say every night and touch somebody, man.
I'm the same way, man. I just want to have it be my main job, and obviously I'm trying to go for the big name of being like an Opie or a Howard or someone on the Bone. But as long as it's my main job, that's all I care about, dude. I'm just not about spending life having 2 jobs.
Yeah, I feel you, man. That means you love what you do, and that's a good thing, man.
This is all I'm good at, dude. I wasn't born with coordination like you might have seen in the hall by the way I walk. So, yeah, this is all I'm good at.
I don't know if y'all know, Hoppy is like 6'8", and if he was black, he would definitely play for the Magic because he is a big dude. But if you were born this way, man, and you were sounding like you sound now, you have the perfect radio voice, bro. Perfect.
You believe in me?
I believe in you, man.
What do you think of my voice? Because a lot of people on the Bone, they don't like make fun of it, but they tease it, and they say I sound like anybody. I'm trying to think of an analogy. They say I sound like a lot of different people, and it's like
I think you got a good radio voice, man. I think it's perfect. It's mellow. It's not too high. It's not too low.
Got a nice little accent from Chicago, very noticeable.
Are you from Chi-Town? Okay.
Damn right, dude.
I'm from Milwaukee, man. So
Hell yeah.
We share a lake, bruh.
I actually liked Milwaukee. A lot of people hate on it. It's the easiest drive from Chicago. You can go to a Bucks game and be there in an hour.
That's right. That's right. I love Milwaukee, man. I'm glad I'm not there no more. I don't do the snow. But
that's the thing. All the cities in the Midwest are cool. They're okay for the most part, but the winter, man, no way, dude.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Have you ever had to shovel snow? Were you old enough back then?
I lived in the Midwest until I was 21, and I'm 22, so I dealt with that my whole life.
So, you get up in the morning, it's dark. You come home, it's dark.
I hate when you have to go outside 10 minutes early just to turn on the car, just so that it's warm, and your car's not even warm. And then there's a little snow on top of the car. You open up your door, and then there's snow.
And it get in your shoe a little bit.
And then you spill your coffee because you're in a hurry to drink it, and that's all you have for the morning.
I just had a flashback, man.
Could you imagine the Florida drivers mixed with snow? They're awful as it is. I just came up with that. Can you imagine if we had snow down here with dude, we'd be dead.
Be dead old people everywhere, man.
Dude, the Howard Franklin would be dangerous. Can you imagine? I mean, driving in the middle of Chicago or even a city like Milwaukee that's smaller is bad. Can you imagine the setup of the Tampa Bay area with snow?
Dude, what's that? What's the place on the beach? What city? No, the Roundabout.
Yeah,
the Roundabout. Geico would be there with notebooks, just filing claims if it snow here. over, man.
They make so much money in the Midwest, I bet. Just all the claims, all the car crashes. I mean, it's insane.
It's horrible, man. And I don't miss it. I'm sorry for any Midwesterners. I don't miss it.
It's not even just the snow. I loved, like, when it would be negative 20 out. Nothing was better than that, man. You can't even go outside to get your mail without your whole face freezing. Oh, that was the best.
Dude, 2 terms that would literally make me have tears in my eyes. Wind chill factor and lake effect snow. Dude, I think we need a minute. You need a commercial or something, man, because I'm piss
or
me off,
you
bro.
turn on the news and they're like, here comes the warm front. It's 18. It's like, thanks, Tom Skillings. You made me real happy, dude. That must be the hardest job, just trying to report the weather in the Midwest and act positive. It's like, it's up to 5 degrees. We're above wind chill.
Oh, my God. It has to be horrible, man.
Which then pisses me off, Ron. I hate the Floridians. I get that compared to 105 degrees, I get that 45 to 55 is cold, but how dare you shiver and act like it's that cold? Like, I get cold. I work events for the Bone, and when it reaches nighttime, it's chilly. But I hate when they're shivering. It's like, go up to the Midwest for a day and try and survive. Shut up.
Well, see, I hear their blood thins when they get down here, and so they get a little chilly
How
quicker.
long have you been here?
I've been here 10 years now, man.
Has your blood thinned?
I haven't checked it lately, but I do get cold now. I do get cold. I don't like it. The only thing I don't like is when they say they want to protect the oranges and all that. I'm like, man, oranges is gangster. You know what I mean?
It's such a good point. Like, everyone freaks out over everything. Like, you have one day where it's 40 degrees and everyone's bitching online.
Yeah.
And it's like, you'll be fine. You don't have to get up early to change the snow. Maybe you'll have to defrost the car a little bit so you can see, but you'll be fine.
See, I think they had that image in their mind that every day they're supposed to wear flip-flops and shorts, even in December. And that's why they get pissed off, man.
But since you're from the Midwest, are you like me where even if you're cold and it's 40 degrees, let's say it even gets to 30 degrees, you always remember what the Midwest was like and you never give up? That's
Absolutely.
how I am.
Absolutely, man. You know what? When I first moved here, it used to blow my mind if I left the house early, like at 5 in the morning or something, and it's dark, that it was hot.
Yeah.
And like mentally, it bothered me. Like, this is impossible because in the Midwest, when you leave early in the morning, it's always cold. And it took me 2 years to adapt to that, man.
It took me about 6 months, and you come to realize how amazing Tampa Bay and the weather is when you go home for Christmas and it's 20 degrees out and all your cousins are like, this is warm, and you're like shivering like a little bitch. That's when I realized I need to live here or in warm weather for the rest of my life, dude. I'm not made for the winter.
I can't do it no more. Dude, I went home 4th of July weekend, and it was like 60 degrees, and I was like, man, it's cold.
Well, and that's the best part is their summers the last probably 7 years have been so average.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's global warming. Something's happening where the Midwest summers are nothing. But once the dog days of summer in August come, then it's fucking 95 degrees out. And then you're like, oh, now it's hot. Like, it never was hot in the prime of the summer. It always had to be September.
Yep.
Labor Day weekend was always the nicest weekend. Ridiculous.
My friend would tell me that Obama did that. That's what my conservative.
Yeah, that's one of the things that everyone tries to blame. Like, going to Obama, how would you declare his era here in the White House? I think he was a game managing point guard. He didn't lose us the game, but he didn't like win. He went to the playoffs, but I don't know if we went past the second round.
Now, I can be totally honest on the hobby show. Okay, when I voted for Obama, yes I did, and I was proud as a black man that Obama made it. But
you should be.
I'm very proud. But I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I don't really follow politics. I think they all
Or
lie.
scumbags.
I think all of them lie, and I don't think it's to the fact that they have to do it intentionally, but it's so much more that the president just can't make a decision that he wants to make and do it. Everything has to get, there's checks and balances and all that. Y'all took social studies. I know that.
Yeah.
And so I think part of the game is you have to be a good liar. You have to be creative. You have to lie with a straight face. And I think they all do it, man.
I think the show House of Lies put all of them on blast. That's when we realized they're all scumbags.
Yep. I agree, man. I totally agree.
That show put me to sleep, though. Everyone's like, it's the greatest show of all time. Anything relating to that whole thing is just putting me to sleep. I despise politics.
Dude, I hate. I don't know why we talking about politics. It just happened. I hate politics. I hate politicians and people because it's one of those things, man. Everybody know that they lying, but people get so upset over politics, like so upset. Like I've seen people get ready to go to blows over politics.
It always happens at like a Christmas party. Like we're all watching TV. It's a Wonderful Life is on. And then you have that one uncle that's like, so the election's coming up, or you talk about Obamacare. Then you have the like in-law get mad at the uncle. Like that's happened at least 5 times in my life where some family member or some friend just brings it up and you're like, shut the hell up. No one cares, dude.
Yes. And in comedy, those are things that they tell you don't talk about. They tell you don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion, because those are the things that divide your crowd. But
are you religious?
I am very religious, man. Very religious.
I'm very
You're not
sure what I am. I'm very, what's the word? I'm not atheist. What's the other one? Agnostic.
I know what you're trying to say. I can
very,
spell it out.
Very confused. Because I lost my dad in November of 2014 to leukemia, and he was a diehard Catholic. Every Friday, didn't have meat, prayed the rosary every day. And I know that life isn't always perfect, but the fact that someone that devout gets leukemia, that's one of the reasons I don't believe. And I also think Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy are no different than believing in God.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Break it down for me, Ron. Why should I even think about believing?
I'll do it the best way I can, Javi. I grew up in church, man. Pentecostal, where they get saved and they speak in tongues and all that kind of stuff.
Oh my God, is that the creepiest thing ever? What are you doing?
When I first heard it, I asked my mother why they were speaking African. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. She said they ain't speaking African; they got the Holy Spirit. So. All right, but I grew up in that environment, right? But my life is so different that my stepfather was a preacher.
He was?
Right. But he did 10 years in the joint. All right. So he got out and became a preacher. So he taught me like the streets and the Bible. And so
what a combination.
I'm a special kid. So we would go to church. I did the Thursday nights, the Sundays, Sunday night. I was so about that life. My mother is a devout Christian. She is she probably praying right now. That's how serious she is. But he would teach me that, these people are just men. You pray and God talks to you. These people are just teachers. But they're men and they make mistakes. So don't put all your trust in this man. And the best example I can give is we were at a revival. And a revival is when a visiting preacher comes. And it was this lady. And she came from some other state. And the church was packed. And she said, God told me to tell everybody to give me all their jewelry. Put it in the basket. He going to bless you. And Hoppy, people were really taking their wedding rings off, the jewelry off, putting it in the thing.
That's like a cult.
My father stood up, pointed at my mother like, you bet not put nothing in that during the service. And so it taught me that you can believe in God, but you can't be a sheep. You have to be a free thinker.
Anything, dude. I don't know, man. It pisses me off.
I believe in God, man. And I can give you examples where I know I should. There's reasons I should be. I shouldn't be here.
If you're a good person, things work out. If you're a bad person, things don't work out. I just don't know, if there's a heaven or anything. I'm just like, meh.
I believe in heaven and hell and all that. Now, I'm sorry for your loss with your father, man. I lost my stepfather too, so I know how you feel, man.
What age did you lose him?
He was 64.
How old were you?
I was. Now you're gonna do the math. Add my age up. I was about 30, 35.
It's just weird when it happens because you go the rest of your life. He's not going to be at the wedding or meet your grandkids. That's what's weird. But my dad was such a weird guy, and the fact that he was so religious, he said I was going to hell for watching Family Guy. So, like, I kind of miss him yelling at me over that.
What episode were you watching when he saw it, though? Because he could.
He hated that show. He got so offended when they made fun of God on Family Guy or Jesus.
See, it's so touchy, man. Like your father, he taught you so much, and you are the person you are because of him.
I really believe I'm him. It's weird. I'm a different version of him.
You are.
I'm an atheist, Roy Hoppe.
Because he instilled these values in you, right? And even though, and right now, I'm just assuming, you at the phase in life where you don't want to accept the fact that your father was gone, and if God was real, why would he let that happen?
I'm at the point where I'm like that, and I just don't care. Like, even hearing about religion just makes me want to vomit.
Don't vomit not here, because if you vomit, you're gonna make me vomit, and then it's gonna smell bad in here.
Then I won't be allowed to use these rooms anymore.
But see, listen, man, I got 2 kids, right? And my oldest and my youngest were born with, it's called sickle cell anemia, right? And it's a blood disease, primarily in the African American community. And when I found out, I was so hurt. I was like, why would God allow this to happen to me? And dude, like, don't nobody laugh at me. I cried a couple times, right?
Anybody would.
I cried a couple times, and then, to see your kid sick, going through some things, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I was so young when I had my first child, and people were disrespecting me because I was a kid to them, so they weren't really giving me the respect as a parent. And one night I was sitting up, and I was like, man, why not me? Like, why would somebody else have to handle this situation and not me? And it's because I can handle it. I can handle it. And one day down the line, somebody going to look at my life and see what I went through, and I might give somebody else the strength to go on in their situation. And the same thing with you. It's some kid that's probably listening to your show right now, and they lost their father or their mother, and they felt like giving up, and you didn't give up. You right here.
This is all I'm good at.
Hosting it. But that's all because part of the plan was your father teaching you everything that he taught you to do what you do, man.
He was very passionate about working. He never knew what he wanted to do, but he was always working. So I think I'm the version of him where I'm the atheist Roy Hoppe, where I'm passionate about radio, and I don't wait till marriage, and I watch dirty shows.
Listen, a lot of those Christian people and the people that
Are
in
phonies.
church, they watch those dirty shows, and they ain't waiting till they married either, man. That's part of the human experience, man. Everybody do something wrong.
I think it's weird that they try to force those like whole lessons and values on you.
I agree.
And then
I agree. Like I said, we started young, and we were still trying to go to church. We had our first child. We weren't married. We were teenagers, and people.
how hard was that?
Oh man, it was hard.
Were you nervous?
Brother, scared, past nervous. And people at church were like, y'all should get married. Y'all, you make her an honest woman. You get married. And
Oh, dear
and I was
God,
like,
no way.
And you're going to hell because you're not married and you living in sin. And I said, well, if God is going to penalize me for trying to be a family, well, I guess I'm just going to have to be penalized because I'm not leaving my family and I'm not ready to get
You
married.
seem like a guy that does not care what anybody thinks of you.
It's hard for me. It's taken me a while to get to that point, but that's what it is, man.
I'm trying to get there, too. I'm trying to get thick-skinned. I've definitely got more thick-skinned. I worked on a radio show in Cleveland where the fan base went from loving me to hating me. And now everyone pretty much likes me here at the Bone.
How could they hate you? How could they hate Hoppe?
When you work for a show where the host is the smartest in the room and everyone else is a little minion that he makes fun of, you're bound to get some hate. I'm just saying. It's one of those things where it's the type of radio I'll never do. I'm going to always appreciate where I came from. I don't like radio where they exploit people. I don't like comedy or TV where you have to go to the lowest common denominator of teasing people. Don't you agree?
I agree. Totally,
You're
man.
overcompensating for something in life where you have to treat people like dirt.
I totally agree. Like I'll get back to what you were saying. It took me so long to and I'm not 100% there, to stop caring what people think. I'm a little dude. I grew up little, oldest out of 4 boys, and I've always had the complex, and everybody else make the short jokes and all that kind of stuff. And I was I grew up in the inner city, but I went to a all white suburban school.
How weird is that?
It wasn't weird for me at the time because it was my life, but I lived in the hood. But then I was a church boy that lived in the hood. All my friends were living that street life. I went to school in an all suburban school, all white kids, and they were like my family because we went to school from first grade through high school. But it taught me to be myself wherever I am. So when I was in the neighborhood, I was the black dude acting like the white guy.
Yeah.
And when I was in the school, I was the hood black dude. And then it's a weird complex. It was a weird complex because I never really fit. But then it gave me enough confidence. The people that liked me, they liked me for me. So they didn't like me because I was trying to be something else. And so eventually I grew into, hey, this is my lane. This is what I do. And people started jumping on board with it. And so it gave me enough confidence to, if I wanted to do something, I don't care what nobody say or whatever, I'm going to do it. And they ain't going to think I'll be able to do it, but I'll do it. And that's what ended up happening.
What was the hardest time you went through when you're trying to figure out who you are?
Oh.
Where to begin, right?
Yeah. If I cry in here because you're trying to get all emotional, Hoppy,
yeah.
The hardest part for me, man, honestly, is my biological father. I know who he is. We grew up in the same city, but I was raised by my stepfather. And the hardest part for me, honestly, was trying to fit in to a family, because when you're raised by a stepfather and he had previous kids, and when you go to the family functions, your last name's different. Everybody else, they treat you nice, but it's not the same. And when I went around my biological father's family, everybody happy to see me and all that, but it's a disconnect because there was so many years of me not being around.
Yeah. So
the hardest part was me having my stepfather was the role model for me. So I'm not trying to say I didn't have a role model, but for me to connect with an older man, well, because like you can only say certain things to your dad. Like you don't want to come to your dad and be like, "Hey, Dad, it's this chick around the corner I'm trying to smash." You know, you don't want to say those kind of things to your dad. You know what I mean? So to have, and I would look at like older cousins or people in the neighborhood, and they live in a certain lifestyle. So the hardest part was for me to try to accept that I'm a man and to live my truth. Like where I'm from, it's honestly people like, dude he got a nice car. But yeah, he got a job though. He got that because he got a job.
Yeah.
Because they don't respect that. They respect the street life. So when I first had my son, and I knew the conditions I grew up in, not being around my father, I had a very good childhood. For the record, I'm not saying I didn't, but to not have your biological father there, and you're wondering like, what if my mother and father would have worked it out? Would my life be different if they would have? So when I finally had that kid, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna be there for him no matter what. I'm gonna be there, and we're gonna work this out. And when I made that decision with her being a teenager and the ups and downs in relationships, and to stick that out because that's what Rahn Hortman is gonna do, was the hardest thing in the world, man.
What type of dad are you to your kids?
Real. Like I try to be real. No, I don't sugarcoat. Like we may have they may do something wrong or whatever, and it was always discipline. But when it comes to like life situations, there's no sugarcoat. If I made a mistake, I told them about it, how it really went down, and this is why you shouldn't do this. And I'll tell them, hey, don't do this, this, and that because this happens. And if I didn't tell you, I'm a horrible father. And if you do it after I told you, you just stupid.
Do you think most, let's say most parents in 2016 are afraid to actually discipline their kids and they're just being their kid's best friend at this point?
Yes, absolutely.
How often do you see that?
I'll say 80% of the time I'll say that.
That's not good.
It's horrible. And society created that. Society created that. A lot of people are scared to discipline their kids. Kids are smarter now. They know how. They can email the police on you now. You touch them. You know, they can they can do all that kind of
text.
stuff. Yeah. So when society took the right from the parents to discipline their kids. Now, I'm not saying you should beat your kids, but like your grandparents got disciplined, your parents got disciplined, they turned out all right. So if you're not disciplining your kids, then they're learning from the world and they're going to do anything that they think is cool because that's what kids do.
Yeah.
They're easily influenced. And if you don't have structure and discipline in your home, you end up with what we have right now.
I think social media is ruining everything too.
Social media has ruined the world.
I'm on it because I have an ego when it comes to trying to make it in radio, but there's really no point to it if you're not doing anything with your life. If you're not in comedy, TV, theater, music, radio, then you're just pointless.
Do you know I look on social media every day, and it's a couple people I look at, and I'm just like, wow. Social media is the way for everybody to be the cool kid in the class, or everybody to be the star. They can say whatever they want. They got all these people watching.
They hide behind the keyboard.
But they hide behind the keyboard, and they don't face any consequences or repercussions for what they do.
This is pretty funny. So when I worked in Cleveland, there was a guy there that I never got a good vibe from, and when I got fired from the job, he said I was talentless and I would never work in radio, this and that. He would view my LinkedIn all the time. He would tweet at me a few months ago, I suck. He's not aware that I know this. So I see him at the Tampa Bay Lightning game. He just comes here randomly. For some reason, a dude from Cleveland sees me when I'm working at the Bone event. Comes up, dude, I loved when you're on Rover's Morning Glory. I'm mad we never talked in the hall. We miss you there. I love your show. I was nice to him. I wasn't going to dismiss him. I'm going to be the better man and be nice. But to me, that moment in my life, I will always remember the fact that somebody from that building who was always a hater of mine is now saying that just so that he can talk to my face. That proves to me, Ron, that the internet, 99.9% of the time, is not real life.
Amen. Amen.
That was the moment when I'm like, it's ridiculous.
And first of all, Hobby, never said you got fired on the radio. It was a situation.
We went separate ways.
It was a situation, yeah. It was a situation.
I got laid off.
Now, was he, okay, how big was he?
Nobody. You just worked in production.
But I mean, like, I'm talking size.
My size. It was weird.
He's your size?
He was chubby, though. He wasn't in shape, but.
Okay, all right, because I was saying, if he was smaller than you probably should have hit him once. I would have just hit him.
It was weird. I wanted to say something and be like, oh, but I hear you've been saying this and this. But I killed him with kindness, where when he sent me the tweet, I was like, I appreciate you coming up. Keep up the good work in Cleveland. Because I just wanted him to be like, oh, I probably shouldn't have been so mean.
You know what? You did it the right way. But honestly, you know what? The best revenge is success. He see you doing your own show. You got all these people loving you here in Tampa. And you ain't got a shovel. So he can shut the hell up, man.
And the best part is, the show I previously worked on, they said in May that me moving here was a lateral move, and they were trying to imply that it wasn't going to work out. And now it's like, I've been here 9 months, had 87 guests, trying to grow this brand. It's like, it's just funny what happens. I'm not big on proving the haters wrong because they'll never care, so why should you try to prove them? But it does feel good that you're just like, bitch.
You know who Biz Markie is?
Yeah.
You know the Vapors?
And say he's just a friend.
You heard the Vapors?
No, I have not.
You look up the Vapors, and you send them the clip to that song, the Vapors.
The Vapors?
Vapors, yeah. Look that up, Vapors.
The other song that pumps me up is Nas's diss on Jay-Z, Ether. That song is just like...
Either.
Yeah.
That, now, you can't listen to Either too much. You go do something to somebody, man. All right? You got to... Listen, I got to ease you into the hard... I can't just have you doing that, Hobby. You got to ease into it, all right?
That's a song I blare when I'm going down to Howard Franklin when there's no traffic. It just pumps you up.
It do,
you
man.
see the skyline and the pretty sun. You're just like, FJZ
Did you hear Hit 'Em Up before? You heard that one?
by Tupac.
Yeah. You play them back to back, you might kill somebody. So
And then
be
play
careful.
"Lose Yourself" by Eminem. You'll
don't-
be motivated forever.
Yeah, don't do it all back to back. You got to space it out. All right, space it out.
It's weird how like rap music used to have like a theme, and it used to
It
actually
did.
have lyrics, and now it's just "I'm on my Molly, I'm on my Molly," and it's like shut up.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. The only rapper I really listen to now, this new era, I listen to all old school stuff. Is I like J. Cole. I listen to J. Cole.
J. Cole's good. His song "Wet Dreams" is legit.
I listen to Cole. I went to the concert.
How far back do you go when it comes to throwbacks? Is it like, or what year was the cutoff rather?
There's really no cutoff. I'll go all the way back. I mean, I'll listen to something now on the radio, but like my era was the 90s, man, late 80s, 90s.
Mine was like Soulja Boy, and Mike Jones.
Ooh, I listen to Mike Jones every now and then.
I saw him, Mims, and Bone Thugs and Harmony live. Dude.
Oh, you from Cleveland? That's right.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Dude, it was weird seeing Mims up there because nobody was rapping to "This Is Why I'm Hot," and he's talking about, I don't have to rap. I could sell a mill saying nothing on the track. And it's like 10 years ago you could. Now you can't. It's just weird when you hear these lyrics about how great they are, Mike Jones, and it's like, yeah, back in the early 2000s. Like, music back then was so awful.
They don't want Mike Jones again.
He has a song called "Money Train" where he goes, "I'm on my money train." Every time he says train, they have like the train sound effect. Every time he says money, they have like the money sound effect. Ching ching. It's one of the worst things I've ever heard. And you're just like, dude, you're the guy that gave out your phone number. Like, who are you?
Which was very smart in terms of marketing. He was a genius with that. But yeah, they don't want you again, Mike. I'm sorry, man.
What about them Franchise Boys? That band was legit.
I remember that. What song did they sing?
Lean with or rock with it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that was this whole snapping era, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then D4L had Shake That Laffy Taffy.
You was shaking your Laffy Taffy, Hobby? You was doing it?
I first thought that meant getting an HJ. I didn't know what it meant. I thought the girls were shaking their Laffy Taffy.
This is what happened when you put hip-hop in the suburbs. Now,
and taking ecstasy is hanging out with some girl named Molly.
Oh, my God. Wow.
I'm just saying. It's amazing how dumb white boys can get when they're trying to listen to rap music.
Well, so, now, in your defense, man, I don't know what they talk about half of the time. Now, like I said, I listen to old stuff like Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac, DJ Quick, EPMD.
Do you know the song "Can You Work With That" by DJ Quick from like 07?
Can you work with that?
Can you work with that? Can you work with that? And then the girls were like, I can work with that. Look it up afterwards.
I wish y'all could have just seen his face when he said, "Can I work with it?" I don't want to work with it, Hobby. Don't make me work with it.
I look so awkwardly pale and white when I'm doing it.
Was that your sexy face?
Yeah, basically.
You got a girlfriend?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, let's talk about
3
that.
weeks. I've had her for 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Is it getting serious in 3 weeks?
I mean, we like each other. I mean, it's 3 weeks. I'm taking it slow.
Did she know you was a hobby from the hobby hour?
On my good old Tinder account, I said I worked at the Bone, but I didn't say who I was. She heard my name, but she didn't know who I was.
So you found her on Tinder?
Yeah.
So was that swipe left or right?
Swipe right.
So y'all really doing that nowadays?
Yeah.
And it's really working.
And I met another girl I went on a date with on the 1st of this year. It was an awkward date. She was hot. I think she thought I was less awkward. So, like, the date sucked. So then I met Michelle, like, 3 weeks later.
Okay, all right. So what do young people do on dates now? Like, what's the date consist
We
of?
just, like, watch Netflix at my
Netflix
place.
and chill. Hobby was chilling. All right. All right.
It really is Netflix and chill at this point. It's like, what was it for you guys back in the day? Was it Netflix and watch Mike Tyson?
What no Netflix,
Or
man.
I mean Mike Tyson and chill?
Nah.
Like, what did you guys watch?
Mike Tyson fight went too fast.
Was it like VHS and chill?
Nah, well, see, okay. It was DVDs, Hoppy, all right? I'm not that old, my God.
Sure.
DVDs.
Beta tapes and chill?
We actually went to the movies because I mean you could go to the movies, buy popcorn and the whole.
I like going to the movies.
It costs like $80 now, though, don't it?
I know.
But that's what we did. We went out. We went to the movies, went out to eat, and then that's when you got to really spit your game. Like, I got mad game when it comes to the ladies. I'm smooth.
Are you with a girl right now?
Well, my wife.
Oh,
yeah,
you're with someone then.
Yeah, she don't like.
Back in the day,
what
what was your go-to line to getting laid?
My go-to line? Ooh.
Or what was your go-to move?
Ooh.
I'm comedian Rahn Hortman.
You know what? You know what? Just make them smile. You make them laugh.
And you just go over there, buy them a drink, and they're like, "Ooh, I like your swag."
Nah, I didn't go buy drinks first because you don't do that.
You don't?
No. See, that's where you young boys do it wrong. You got to talk to them. You got to communicate, right? You got okay, I'm gonna give you my this. All right, don't nobody steal this, but this is what I used to do. If I go to the club and it's a chick standing by there, I don't care how she look or if she's smiling or she happy, whatever. You always ask them, "Why you looking so mean?" Yeah. And either they're gonna get defensive. Well, yeah, I'm not looking mean. Then you in. Then you can talk. Conversate.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Is it?
Like that?
I like that.
Nice and quick.
Nice and quick. Nice and quick.
Yeah, it's weird having a girlfriend. It's my first one I've ever had.
Wait. This is your first girlfriend?
It's not my first time hooking up, but it's my first time having a girlfriend.
This is how I know it's his first time, because he called it hooking up. They don't call it that no more.
Having sex.
So this your first real girlfriend?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
It's quite the change that you're not always doing what you want every time.
I wrote a book, and I forgot to bring you the book, Hoppe. I'm sorry. About relationships. I'm going to drop it off to you, though.
Yeah.
Dude, but listen, man. This is your first. You know what you do? This is what you do. You know when you first meet somebody and you kind of uptight and you want everything to be perfect.
And now I'm like more laid back, yeah.
Yeah, be yourself. Let all that go. Just be yourself, man. Just have
fun. Show her who I am, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If she don't like a 6'8" dude, something wrong with her, man.
Yeah.
Something wrong with her.
If she don't like a 6'8" dude who lives in a small apartment and has a cat, then she ain't for me.
Dang. First girlfriend. I'm going to write this down. That is cute, man.
It's weird, though, because, it's just odd that I can't always watch what I want to watch. Like, I want to watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but she wants to watch the latest Tina Fey movie. And I'm like, God damn it, we'll watch Tina Fey.
See, that's the first thing when you get in a relationship, is that you giving up something.
I don't know.
That's all it is. You got to give something up. And
she looks so bored when I put on any of the shows I like.
What does she look like? What type of woman you like?
She's cute. I'll show you pictures afterwards.
Okay, all right. Is she tall, short?
She's like 5'4", so.
Why do big, tall dudes always get little girls?
Because I think little girls like the protection they feel when they're with a guy.
Ah, okay. I get that.
Because nothing says protection and coordination like Ryan Hoppe. I'm the definition of that, Ron.
I see, man. I'm telling you, you're a big dude.
I'll show you a picture right there.
Oh, yeah, she's cute, y'all. She's really cute.
She's fun, too. So.
He did good for herself.
What's your wife like? How amazing is she?
Man,
How good can she cook?
She can throw down.
Damn right she can, dude.
Like real talk. And, we've been together, man. Woo! What's going on? 24 years, man.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
that's
man.
a long time.
And we've been ups and downs, all in betweens, and she's a soldier. Rahn Hortman was a bad dude at one time, man.
What'd you do? It was so bad if you want to say.
Oh, man. Listen, y'all may not believe it, but I was quite the ladies' man. I was. Yeah. You see this? I had hair down on my back, man.
You did?
Yeah. I look like Eazy-E.
Just without the AIDS.
Yes, without that. I will show you some pictures if you want to see some, so you can laugh at me. But we started out, both of our friends were, my best friend and her best friend were dating, and they kind of hooked us up, and we didn't really like each other at that time.
What did you not like about her? What was so annoying?
Her attitude. She had a terrible attitude.
She was the worst.
Yes, attitude. She was so rude to me. You know what? I'm gonna come clean on the Hoppe Hour.
Yeah.
Baby, I got you pregnant on purpose the first time. I did it. All right, so yeah, I said
there
it on the Hoppe Hour. Yeah, on the Hoppe Hour. I did
the best local podcast in Tampa. There you said it. All 4 listeners will hear it.
Yes, I said it. I meant it. But we started out young, man, and it was she was like my best friend. You know what I mean?
Aww.
Like somebody you can depend on.
Is that the girl that's the wife of your kids or the
Yes.
mother of your kids?
Yes.
Brother? Yeah.
All my kids, all 4 kids. And I'm going to throw this out there.
4 kids? Holy crap, you have no life, dude.
Yeah, Hortman don't play no games, man. I gets it in, Hoppy. I can teach you how to do that if that's what you want.
No, I'm good.
All right, you
I
sure?
don't need that type of play-by-play.
Hey, she won't go nowhere. If you get her with 4 of them, she can't leave.
It is weird, though, because I'm so tall. We have to make adjustments, so that's all I'm going to say.
See, I've never had those problems. I'm 5'5".
Well, yeah, because you're like 5'2", so.
5'5" and a half, Hoppy.
Oh, wow,
All
I was so
and a half.
off.
All right,
Midget.
like wow,
Well,
wow.
I'm so tall. I'm like a sloth. I'm very giant-like.
dude. You do not look that tall on the pictures. I said, oh my goodness, look at this dude.
Yeah, I can tell a person's face when they're surprised by how tall I am by the way they have to like look up.
Right.
Like at least 5 times a day I hear, "How tall are you?" And you try to be like cool about it and embrace it, but it gets old. It's like you think I hear that?
What you think I hear, Hoppy, all the time,
No
my
one
whole
said that
life.
to you.
Oh my God, you're so little.
Nobody
How tall
said
are
that.
you? I'm 5'5".
Does anybody
You're not-
really say that?
Yes. You're
Well,
not
then
5'5".
They're rude douchebags.
Like I'm gonna lie about being 5'5". You're not 5'5". I'm gonna lie about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of everything to lie about, you'd lie about that, Rahn Hortman.
Thank you, man. These people are crazy, man.
What do you got? What do you have coming up? What are some big things for Rahn Hortman?
Big things. Next week I'm in Kentucky, comedy off Broadway. Then I think a week after that I'm gonna be at the Laugh Fest, Gilda's Laugh Fest in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And then I think I'll be back local for a while. Come out to a show, come hang out, man.
Where are some places you go to so people could check it out?
Here, Side Splitters Comedy Club.
Love Side Splitters. BT's the man.
BT he about your height too.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
See,
and he's very big.
BT is the homie, my big little brother, love him to death, man. He helped push me along a little bit. You know what I
He
mean?
gave you some advice, helped you?
I'll tell you how I started. Like I started at when I first started, I was doing MCing there at Side Splitters. I was in a contest. I was winning a lot of contests, so I was feeling good. And 1 week he asked me if I wanted to feature. When you're featuring, you're doing 25 to 30 minutes, and they're booking the dates. And he told me, "Hey, Ron's ready. He's ready." And they threw me in the rotation, man. And then, before you know it, I'm meeting people.
How does the rotation work?
Well, when you first start, you usually do 5 minutes, and then you get to do MCing when you're doing 5 to 10. You bring up the other acts. Then, after you get all that together, then you start to feature when you're doing 25 to 30 minutes. So basically, you're the opening act for a headliner, and then when you get past that, you're the headliner. You're the guy that's closing the show. And it's a long process. I play all 3 positions.
Yeah.
And like if you're on the show and like you had Jim Norton on here.
Unreal.
Like there's no way that Jim Norton's gonna come to town and you're closing the show. You're gonna be like, you know what, Jim, I'm closing this show tonight.
Yeah.
You do what you can. You're honored to be on that stage because he's a headliner. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just an honor to be on the stage, man, and get in the rotation, get my sets up.
Now, if people want to give you a spot or they want to check out your work, where can you be found online?
RahnHortman.com, RahnHortman. I'm on Facebook, Rahn Hortman. I'm on Instagram, Rahn Hortman. Twitter,
Pornhub,
Pornhub, Rahn Hortman. I'm on all of it, man. And I got a hashtag stab the devil. You'll find me.
Why is that your hashtag?
Long story. It's a joke that I do, and it's called stab the devil for Jesus, man. You're not religious, but you can get there, Hoppy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you a stab the devil
Just
T-shirt
because
too.
of you, I'll get out. Get on that.
You know, before we leave, man, you're gonna pray, Hoppy.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I hope this segment was good. Amen.
You know what? Even if it wasn't, I had fun.
Hell yeah, you did.
You-
On a scale of 1 to 10, how great was this?
1 to 10. I'm gonna give you a 10, man. You know why? Because because it was natural, and we was just in
That's
here
what I
kicking
go
it.
for. I never want to fake it. I never want to force it.
We were going in here now. I was like, I don't know what he gonna ask me. I don't know what we gonna talk about, but it's like I'm just in here kicking it with a friend, man.
Yeah.
And I
Keep up the
appreciate it.
good work, dude. I have fun having comedians on. You were one of the most real segments I've had, so this was a lot of fun.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you having me, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm
Yeah,
rooting
right.
for you. You got my support. Nothing but love for you, man.
The next time you have a show, hit me up on Facebook. I'll come on out and promote it.
Cool. I appreciate it, man.
This has been Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace out.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.